Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I'm here once again with Michael. Michael, congratulations on yet another payout. It's good to see you back in here again.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah. So, I don't remember all the details from our first interview. I do remember some of the specifics. I know it was a pretty sizable payout. So, what's been going on kind of in your trading world since we last spoke? What have you been working on and developing, and what's changed for you between, then and now?
Well, from then to now, I've swapped from doing 50K accounts to 150K accounts on TradeAvate,
Okay.
using NinjaTrader, of course.
What was the reason for the switch, the adjustment in size?
I actually blew out my first set of accounts after that large withdrawal, and
Mhm.
I just needed the comfort of the sizable drawdown.
Okay. So have you seen an actual difference in your results having that flexibility to trade bigger swings?
Uh, Not as much. I've been sticking to trying to keep it low and slow and
Sure.
staying within 1 mini and taking out breakouts from there.
Sure. Okay. So obviously, we've got you back in the game. We've got you back in the world of payouts. And as we were talking before we started here, you mentioned that you've got yet another payout that you're expecting here in short order. So at this point, what have you learned since that last big payout and then blowing out those accounts? What have been the big lessons for you?
Oh, you got to know what your drawdown is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. If you're running anything, you got to know what your stop loss is, and you got to know what your drawdown is. You got to know what your trailing drawdown is, especially.
Mm-hmm. And that is one of obviously the dynamic factor with these accounts is those drawdowns trail, which obviously there's everybody's got their feelings on it, but I don't know. In my opinion, it forces me personally to be a better trader because I do have to pay attention to that. I do have to be aware of that, and of course, I know once I'm in PA status and past that threshold, it stops trailing. So that gives me my flexibility. But on that front end, getting there definitely has to be that awareness. I think that's a really, really valuable point because there's the drawdown and then there's where you are today. And being aware of that,
Yes.
of course, has to be in mind. So with all of this, obviously things have started moving back in the right direction. I mean, are you experiencing the same level of success that you experienced after that, or I guess leading into that first payout?
Yeah, I believe so, and I'm set up for a payout. I'm trying to take it low and slow, so
Hmm.
it's going to be maybe a month or two
Okay.
until my next big payout. But I should have another payout coming here between the 15th and 20th of May.
Okay. Yeah. So here, just in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting news. So at this point now we've gone beyond big swings, big payouts. Now we're developing and moving into the world of consistency. What do you think has been the biggest key factor in maintaining a level of consistency versus simply winning trades?
You have to be disciplined.
Mhm.
You have to wake up at least in my eyes, you got to be up at the same time every day to be able to see what you need to see in the market
Mhm.
to be successful. You got to be able to see the market structure. You got to see where it's breaking out, where it's finding support, where it's finding the levels before the big moves at the open.
Gotcha. So, and of course, size is relative. One trader may consider something huge, another trader may consider it reasonable or even small in some cases. So without necessarily factoring that in, what is it that allows you to make those bigger swings, knowing that if you have a losing trade, that's going to be deeper into that loss side as well? Do you have something that you deal with, those emotions, dealing with the sort of the mindset that comes from that?
Of course, I deal with it in my personal life, and I deal with it in the professional sense. But I don't revenge trade, and I don't. If I start to lose my emotions, I step away for the day.
Mhm. Now, is there a
That's
specific?
another huge thing.
I mean, is there like a
Is if you
specific trigger that says, "Hey, I'm out, I'm done for the day," or at least I need to walk away for half an hour?
uh, usually two losses,
Two losses is it, huh? Okay.
two losses, step away.
Right. Now, as you continue to grow, as you continue to build, obviously things are moving in the right direction. You're getting the payouts, you're building the buffer in the accounts, you're preparing for yet another payout. Where do you see yourself moving forward to in the next few phases over the course of the next few months? What does that look like for you?
Um, it's just consistency, trying to stay consistent, try to make at least 200 to $300 a day. If on 20 accounts, that's amazing. And I'm just gonna slow roll it until I can get my payout. And then and once I built the cushion up, I don't necessarily need that.
Right. Well, and that's a really excellent point there that I think a lot of times people forget that if you get in the mindset of that slow roll, yes, you've got to pass the accounts. Yes, you've got to get past the threshold. But once you do, if you've got as many as 20 accounts, obviously, 250 a day, I mean, that's a $5,000 day. You know,
Exactly.
and people tend to forget the dynamic of this, of being able to replicate or to copy trades, to grow things on an exponential basis without necessarily having to take the step of changing the position size. Because for a lot of traders, myself included, seeing a bigger position is a lot more difficult to manage emotionally than just having it copy across multiple accounts in the background. So,
Right.
I know for me that's a big deal. I don't know if that's a big factor for you. Again, everybody's mindset is different in terms of what's a big position versus what's a small position. So,
Generally, I've been running one mini, and it's been working fine. But I still get a bit of anxiety. I still watch all my trades and make sure that the positions are closed
mhm.
after everything's done, and especially I make sure there's no orders. There's nothing left, and
Right.
in NinjaTrader to to get me in the end.
No accidental entries after you've stepped away, right?
Exactly.
Right. 100%. Listen, so at this point, if you're talking to somebody who's just coming up, who's getting their feet wet, who's learning how to basically operate and function as a funded trader, what's the biggest piece of advice you give somebody who's moving down that road?
Don't be scared of the red days because there will be red days, but you'll make it back.
Mhm.
The market's always moving up, and you'll make it back eventually.
That valuable information. I know it's just such a temptation to say, if I could just get back to where I was, or if I could just get back to break even, or if I could just get back to, to my ideal max loss. Once you start
Yeah,
taking on that mindset, it's just it's a
it's a
painful and
poisonous.
yeah,
It's a
it's
poisonous mindset.
it escalates very, very quickly because the decisions tend to get a little bit sketchier as you make that type of trade. So, well, listen, I appreciate you spending a little more time with us, sharing a little bit more insight with us, as to your continued success. I, for one, wish you continued success in growth and development as a trader, as a funded trader with Apex. And I can't wait to see what that next phase looks like. And, hopefully we can catch up here in a few more months and get yet another update.
That'd be great. I actually have proof of the payout right here. If my camera will
There it
focus.
is, focused in, right? So 2750, perfect.
Perfect.
And well, congratulations on that. Obviously, you're talking about much bigger numbers as you're talking about 250 a day across 20 accounts and all that. All of this is,
Right.
it's a part of the process, and I think it's good to remind traders that most traders aren't going to start off with a $5,000 day on 20 accounts every day. And it is a growth process. It is a scale in process. So take it slow and steady and watch the growth happen. That's how you're going to end up being long-term successful. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing all of
And if
that with
you're
us. And
and one of my mentors taught me, if you're scared, size down.
valuable advice as well. I know I've been through that process of, oh my gosh, that stop loss is $500. I'm not comfortable with that versus
Hmm.
if I do two micros and it's $100 stop loss and that doesn't bother me. So a lot of that really is a matter of figuring out what works for you. So great advice.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Listen,
Thank you very
Michael,
much.
I appreciate you hanging out with us once again. I look forward to catching up here in a few more months and seeing how everything's going then.
I look forward to it as well.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.